Hey guys, Benny the Vulture, formerly known as Chase Boyer here, and on my side I got my two dogs, Teddy the Dachshund dog, and Lulu the Aussie Doodle dog. And now I am going to be reading a list of safety tips that I have learned from the story Officer Buckle and Gloria. So, here we go. Safety tip number 1. Keep your shoelaces tied. You could trip and get hurt. Safety tip number 2. Always wipe up spills before someone slips and falls. Safety tip number 3. Never leave a thumbtack where you might sit on it. Also, never even sit on a tack. Safety tip number 4. Never play with matches. Safety tip number 5. Always wash your hands after using the toilet. Remember, germs are the enemy. Safety tip number 6. Stay away from guns. Safety tip number 7. Always wear a crash helmet, especially while biking and skating. Safety tip number 8. Never play with spray paint and never play with spray cans either. Safety tip number 9. Always swim with a buddy. Safety tip number 10. Never put anything in your nose. Safety tip number 11. Never draw your socks in the microwave. Safety tip number 12. Say no to drugs. Safety tip number 13. Never leave a bar of soap where someone might step on it. Safety tip number 14. Never fly kites near power lines. Safety tip number 15. Obey all traffic signs. Safety tip number 16. Always walk facing traffic. Safety tip number 17. Never stand on a swivel chair. Safety tip number 18. Never turn your back on very nice dogs. And I said very nice dogs instead of strange dogs, just in case if it wouldn't hurt any usually good behaved dogs' feelings. Safety tip number 19. Do not go swimming during electrical storms. That can be a bit of a shocking experience. Safety tip number 20. Stay away from cigarettes. Safety tip number 1. Never play loud music into headphones. Safety tip number 22. Never drink anything you find under the sink. Safety tip number 23. Never play alone in the car. Safety tip number 24. Check how deep the water is before you dive. Safety tip number 25. Never sit too close to the television. Safety tip number 26. Keep shoes and a flashlight under the bed. Safety tip number 27. Never play in the microwave and the oven. Safety tip number 29. Safety tip number 28. Never tilt your chair back on two legs. Safety tip number 29. Never put anything in your ear. Safety tip number 30. Never take other people's medicine. Safety tip number 31. Never accept rides from strangers. Safety tip number 32. Never bother a big dog while it's eating. Safety tip number 33. Always pull the toothpick out of your sandwich. Safety tip number 34. Never eat mayonnaise that's been sitting in the sun. And finally, the best safety tip ever. Safety tip number 35. Always stick with your buddy. And that's all the safety tips I've learned from Officer Buckle and Gloria. So, anyways, I might make videos like this again, but this time with different dogs. So, anyways, please like, please subscribe, please comment, and thank you guys for watching, and bye.